Earlier this year, we compared the Fanatec ClubSport Wheelbase V2 versus the Thrustmaster TSPC Racer versus the Fanatec CSL Elite for the Xbox One and PC. The ClubSport Wheelbase V2 won the head-to-head challenge, and then celebrated by retiring weeks later.
From here on in, you can consider my ass retired.
Which brings us to today, its replacement, the ClubSport Wheelbase version 2.5. Sporting, quote-unquote, more advanced electronics and new motor for improved feeling, functionality, and even durability, the V2.5 looks to improve on the already good V2 package. But does it? That's what we're here to find out as we look at the pros, cons, and in-between neutral features of the ClubSport Wheelbase version 2.5. Sim racing chassis in this video is the Next Level Racing GT Ultimate featuring the new motion platform V3. Learn more at nextlevelracing.com. The V2.5 wheelbase design doesn't stray far from the V2, and overall, that's for the best. The most notable change between the two is the addition of the machine-framed Fanatec logo on the face, which we didn't care for when we first saw the images of the V2.5, but now we actually do prefer it in person. It makes the V2 face look kind of plain now. Besides that, the rest is the same, for better or for worse. For better, the package is still compact and attractive. For worse, the hidden I/O is still a pain if you forget to connect your cables before you mount the wheel, and we would have liked to seen a black USB cord versus the off-design gray cord. It's minor, but if you're going to go with the murdered out black on black look, might as well go all the way. The only other design change between the V2 and the V2.5 is the new power brick indicating the new components inside. Before we talk about the force feedback strength and smoothness of the V2.5, let's have a refresher on the V2. The last time we saw the V2, we noted the pros and cons of the steering feel. We noted how strong the force feedback is, stronger than any other belt drive wheel out there. Yet, it was able to be smooth as well, not exhibiting some of the slop that the lower priced Fanatec CSL Elite has. But there was one thing we didn't care for, and that was the on-center feel, or more so, how the wheel would fight you on center and fall into an oscillating pattern. Now, to be fair, every belt drive wheel has this to some degree. It was just showing up more than we care for on the Fanatec wheels and throwing a con into the overall positive steering feel. So with that said, was the V2.5 able to improve on the feel of the V2? Yes, sometimes only a little and sometimes a lot. In terms of pure force feedback strength and smoothness, the V2.5 doesn't feel any stronger or smoother. It does feel a bit more buttoned up over the V2, with the wheel feeling more consistent during rotation, but overall, it's a familiar feeling. As for our complaint about on-center feel and oscillations, this is where things get really interesting. During our V2 testing in the head-to-head challenge, no amount of adjustments in the tuning menu removed that sensation without killing the feel of the wheel. This resulted in us keeping all the settings stock and putting up with the oscillations since it was the least negative option. Fast forward to the V2.5, and Fanatec has made an adjustment to fight the on-center oscillations in the form of negative values in the advanced drift mode in the tuning menu. While the positive values in advanced drift mode encourage the wheel to rotate, good for drifting but terrible when driving otherwise, the negative values restrain the wheel's willingness to go back and forth. The interesting thing is, the effectiveness of this setting is game and even car dependent. When we fired up iRacing and played with the advanced drift mode setting, it didn't make a noticeable difference from the V2 where we were still getting oscillations. On the other hand, when we fired up Assetto Corsa, we were able to feel the difference of setting drift mode to -3, -4, or -5 values. Although, it was more effective on some cars than others. From what Fanatec told us, it comes down to how the game handles the rotational drag of the wheel. If it doesn't handle low drag well, it oscillates. So, your mileage may vary with the new advanced drift mode, but it's cool to see it as an option, and when the stars line up, it works. We do have one suggestion though. It would be nice to see an oscillation settings in the tuning menu instead of it being a negative value in drift mode. Just let drift mode be drift mode and have another location in the tuning menu where we can play with the oscillation settings. And one final point on the steering feel of the ClubSport Wheelbase V2.5. Unlike the V2, the V2.5 motor driver firmware can be upgraded, so there could be updates to further improve the force feedback down the line. For most of its life, the ClubSport Wheelbase V2 sold at $600 or €750, which is some serious coin. The ClubSport Wheelbase V2.5, on the other hand, comes out of the box at $500 or €550, still not cheap, but not unreasonable for what you're getting, especially when what you're getting is better. And word of note, if you're running on the PC only, then the Formula rim at $200 or 230 euros is the best bang for your buck and helps to keep the wheel south of direct drive prices. After the ClubSport Wheelbase V2 had compatibility on the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One for a bit, before losing it when Sony put the kibosh on that, it could be easy to downgrade the PC and Xbox One ready version 2.5 compatibility to the cons category. But we don't see the ClubSport Wheelbase V2.5 as a console racer. Sure, you could spend $600 on a V2.5 plus CSL Elite P1 steering wheel, or $900 on a V2.5 plus Xbox One Universal Hub plus rim, but that's a lot of money to go race on the Xbox One with. If you want to race on the consoles, there's plenty of other quality, lower price options out there. When the ClubSport Wheelbase V2.5 was announced, we wonder why it received the V2.5 name instead of V3. Well, now we know why. While the changes aren't huge, they are for the better and at a lower price point. In all actuality, the creation of the V2.5 was probably due to Fanatec sourcing newer, less expensive internals and being able to pass the savings on to you, which is pretty cool. No matter how the Fanatec ClubSport Wheelbase V2.5 came into existence though, it does an excellent job of picking up where the ClubSport Wheelbase V2 left off and leading the way in belt drive wheel technology. Thank you for watching Inside Sim Racing. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, check out our website isrtv.com for the latest news, reviews, and our popular forums. Also check out the Amazon affiliate link in the description below. Click on the link, shop through Amazon. It doesn't cost you a thing, but kicks back a little towards us. For John Sable, thank you for watching Inside Sim Racing. Please take care of you and yours.